I've never really been a big football fan. As you can tell from my recently uploaded videos, I spend most of my free time invested in video games. However, my interest in football has increased significantly in recent years, mainly due to my discovery of one particular player, the GOAT himself, Tom Brady. The fact that he has more rings than any NFL franchise, the fact that he's been playing in the NFL longer than I've been alive, or the fact that he's now the QB for the Bucks, my home team, there was plenty of reason for me to eventually develop an interest in him. So, just like every other person who follows the NFL, a question began to nag at me. Is Tom Brady finally going to retire after this season? Well, on January 29th, we got our answer. Or did we? So, let's set the scene. It was just past noon on January 29th. I decided to Google Tom Brady, as I had the days prior, to see if there was any new updates on him. Besides the typical articles pondering his retirement, nothing interesting. However, when I Googled his name just a couple hours later, I discovered something shocking. A tweet from a checkmarked Twitter user proclaiming that Tom Brady had retired? What? Very quickly, though, I noticed something odd. The retirement announcement had not come from Tom Brady himself, but from sources. Also, who is this Adam Schefter guy? As well as this Jeff Darlington who was mentioned in the tweet. Well, as it turns out, they both have Wikipedia pages, so they must be somewhat reputable, right? Unfortunately, posting the article on the ESPN website did not boost their credibility. While an unfortunate amount of people blindly believed this news story, plenty more saw right through it. The first place I saw that used actual logic when reading this tweet and wasn't trying to clickbait users was Yahoo Sports. Shout out to them for actually putting an accurate title. Further denting the credibility of this story, Bruce Arians, the Buccaneers head coach, Donald Yee, Tom Brady's agent, and Tom Brady himself all sent out statements conflicting the ESPN report, saying that Tom Brady's decision on retirement was not yet set in stone. As a result, Schefter ended up receiving a lot of hate, which at first seems justified. But some people pointed out that decorated journalists like Adam Schefter and Jeff Darlington wouldn't put their careers online unless they were 100% certain on what they were reporting. And sure enough, just 3 days later, it turned out they were correct. Tom Brady retired from the NFL. For real this time. Only to unretire just 40 days later. Despite the mess that the reporting on Tom Brady's retirement ended up being, there are still plenty of things we can learn from it. Although these aren't any new lessons for most people, they're still worth mentioning. The most important thing to take away from these events is that you should always have a healthy amount of skepticism when reading news articles, especially ones breaking major stories like this. Another good idea is to look into the background of the journalists reporting the story and see how credible they really are. I didn't do a lot of digging into this, but it seemed as though Adam Schefter has been no stranger to controversy in recent years. And finally, use your common sense. Who would you trust more announcing Tom Brady's retirement? Tom Brady himself or a random unidentified source? Unfortunately, many journalists prioritize publicity over accuracy, so it's up to us to find the stuff that is truly genuine. And by using the 3 key points that you've learned from the mess that was Tom Brady's retirement, you will never fall prey to misinformation again. BBC is the best!